Hello friends, today I will talk to you about the BlockDAG project. Before we start the video, I want to make something clear. This is not investment advice. The information I will share here is solely to introduce and inform you about the project. As always, you should make your investment decisions after conducting your own thorough research. Now let's move on to the main part of the video, and I will be sharing the latest updates with you in greater detail. The BlockDAG's Awakening testnet is scheduled to start on September the 25th. This is an important step demonstrating that the project has successfully activated its entire blockchain. Real miners are synchronized with the chain, and the project is no longer just a white paper. So far, a grand total of $406 million have been successfully raised. There are currently more than 312,000 investors participating, and the pre-sale price, which is set at 0.0013, is still actively ongoing. To put it simply, the awakening process has begun, and the project is now truly operating at a very active level all around the world. So now let's take a closer look at BlockDAG's awakening testnet process. This stage is the most important step before the project moves to its full version. So this is not just an ordinary test. It was a period when the entire infrastructure of the network went live, real miners connected to the chain, and performance was put to the test. Thanks to this important testnet, the solid foundation for all of our exciting future features is being carefully laid. Now let us go ahead and take a much closer look at these remarkable features. First of all, this version marks the period when the core blockchain of the project, Awakening, that is, the awakening of the blockchain's core, went live for the very first time. Thanks to this important development, the very heart of the entire infrastructure is now up and running. The Awakening testnet launch officially begins on September 25th, marking the first live activation of this innovative Layer 1 blockchain. Alright, now let's take a much closer look at precisely what the testnet version of BlockDAG's activation actually includes. UTXO removal, essentially unnecessary data on the blockchain, has been successfully cleaned up, which in turn makes the digital ledger much more streamlined. As a result, the system now operates faster and more efficiently. Explorer and tooling. A browser that lets you view the network's internals and developer tools have been added. In this way, it has become possible to transparently monitor blocks, transactions, and the state of the network. First, account management has become considerably more flexible, providing a wide array of new conveniences for both individual users and the various applications they utilize. Secondly, the token distribution contracts have been comprehensively updated, making the entire process substantially clearer and more secure for our valued investors. Lastly, with the successful Strata miner integration, miners can now establish a direct connection to this chain. This represents a critically important step forward that truly brings the entire network to life and fosters its growth. Performance testing. The system has undergone extensive and rigorous testing in order to ensure the network is as stable and reliable as possible. Upgradability. The infrastructure has been designed to be very flexible, ensuring that adding new features in the future will be a straightforward process. EIP 4337. Groundwork. The essential foundation has been laid for what are known as smart accounts. Thanks to this development, much more advanced wallets and applications can be supported well into the future. In short, the Awakening testnet is the phase where the entire ecosystem is tested, improved, and validated step by step. When we closely examine the details of a mainnet that includes BlockDAG, we can clearly see this demonstrated. This is not just about financial investing, but also about actively participating in the project's development and becoming an integral part of the growing ecosystem. Let's take advantage of these opportunities, friends. Next up, I would like to discuss in some detail the ongoing expansion of our ecosystem as well as a significant Singapore deployment event. Following the successful preparation of the mainnet with the BlockDAG Awakening Testnet, the team made the decision to hold their own deployment event in Singapore. This event was planned as an independent step due to Token 2049 restrictions. At the event, in partnership with Coinstore, the Awakening Testnet X series hardware and the X1 mobile application will be showcased. This serves as definitive evidence of BlockDAG's independent and self-funded strategy. In other words, instead of just talking, they are demonstrating an application and results-oriented approach. The event also serves as a premier global launch platform. It unequivocally confirms that BlockDAG is in full control of its roadmap, its community, and its entire ecosystem. Therefore, this is a particularly critical time to join the project by purchasing your BlockDAG tokens well in advance of the Singapore event with Coinstore. Don't miss this opportunity, friends. Now let's take a look at the growth figures. Let's take a look at the community, capital, and credibility. When we take a closer look at BlockDAG's community and growth figures, first of all, there are currently more than 312,000 holders and over 1,000 new users are joining on a daily basis. So the community is continuously expanding and investor interest is quite high. In total, an impressive sum of over $390 million has been raised. Moreover, just last month, an additional $40 million in funding was secured. This demonstrates that the project is in a very strong financial position. On the mining side, there are currently approximately 19,000 miners. 2,000 new devices are being commissioned every week. This is clear evidence that the network is continuing to grow rapidly and has a particularly strong mining infrastructure. 3 million users are mining BlockDAG on a daily basis. Therefore, mobile users are also making active contributions to the network. Across the community, more than 325,000 people in over 130 countries are participating in BlockDAG mining. This shows that BlockDAG has truly built a global community. To put it simply, these numbers are more than just figures. It clearly shows that BlockDAG is growing rapidly both technically and in terms of community, and that the network has a vibrant, active ecosystem. Additionally, there have recently been major purchases of $4.4 million and $3.6 million. This also increases the project's market strength and investor confidence. All of these figures clearly demonstrate that BlockDAG is not just hype, but that it actually represents a very significant change in the world of Layer 1 leadership. You can go ahead and download BlockDAG's X1 application to your personal device, as it is compatible with both the iOS and Android operating systems. After installing the application, you can go ahead and create your account and start mining without any delay after logging in. You will be able to start earning BlockDAG tokens almost immediately, and by doing so, you can actively contribute to the project's ecosystem. Additionally, through the application, you can easily track your overall mining performance, view your accumulated earnings, and interact with the community. All bonus tiers have now been removed and the BlockDAG pre-sale price has been fixed at 0.0013. This particular price will only be valid for a few days and it provides an equal and fair entry point for all potential investors. So everyone can participate under the same conditions. The Area 2 testnet is now active. When the pre-sale period ends, the window to enter the most active pre-sale of 2025 will also close. So it's worth taking advantage of this opportunity, friends. Now is the time to take action. BlockDAG's testnet will go live on September 25th. It operates with real infrastructure and real miners. And remember, the final sale price of 0.0013 is still currently valid. Don't miss this incredible opportunity and become part of a major Layer 1 launch that is already fully up and running. To complete your purchase, you just need to click on the Buy Now option right away. After connecting your digital wallet, you can buy here with Ethereum, USDT or BNB. When you enter the specific amount, you will then see the corresponding BlockDAG tokens appear right here. And from this section, you can proceed to complete your purchase. As you can see, the process is really quite simple, everyone. Yes, my friends, that is everything I have to share with you about the BlockDAG platform for today. If you have any questions at all about this, please feel free to share them with me in the comments section. I'll look forward to seeing you in another video. Until then, take care of yourselves and goodbye for now.